Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. The CCP recently held its third ever National Security Council meeting, during which Xi Jinping's use of new extreme terms and phrases drew widespread attention. Meanwhile, various unprecedented events concerning the security of CCP governance have been occurring in China. So today, let's discuss the relationship between Xi Jinping's heightened unease and its relations to the latest international and domestic situations. On May 30th, Xi Jinping hosted the first meeting of the 20th Central National Security Commission. This was his first national security meeting since starting his third term, and also the third ever such meeting. Two aspects of the meeting were particularly notable. First, Xi Jinping's use of unprecedented extreme language in his speech caught a lot of attention. For example, he stated, "We must adhere to bottom line thinking and extreme scenario thinking, be prepared to withstand severe challenges, high winds, rough seas, even the stormiest and most turbulent waves." Bottom line thinking is a term Xi Jinping has often used before without providing a specific explanation of its meaning. We can only speculate that Xi Jinping wants everyone to make the worst-case assumptions and mental preparations in all aspects in order to cope with various difficulties and challenges. However, this time, Xi Jinping went beyond his own bottom line and introduced the term extreme scenario thinking, which can also be translated as worst-case scenario thinking or extreme thinking. Once again, we can only speculate that in Xi Jinping's mind, the worst-case scenario, the most extreme and dire situation, is imminent and threatens the security of CCP governance and his own personal safety. It is in this state of anxiousness that he demands the entire party adhere to worst-case scenario thinking and devise strategies to address the worst possible circumstances. His use of phrases like high winds, rough sea, stormiest and most turbulent waves, and significant tests reflects his profound uneasy and fear, as if doomsday is imminent. Perhaps Xi Jinping's unease and fear are justified. Internationally, with the latest developments in the Russia-Ukraine war, it appears that Russia's defeat is inevitable. This has left Xi Jinping, who has formulated the united with Russia to resist the US strategy, feeling desperate and panicked. Clearly, he has once again misjudged the situation and placed his bets on the wrong side. Recently, Admiral Aquilito, the commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, said that there would be no such thing as a swift and decisive outcome in a Taiwan Strait war if Xi Jinping insists on engaging in such a war. He will face the devastating blows. Admiral Aquilito further emphasized that he has been entrusted with two tasks: preventing a CCP invasion of Taiwan and, if the first task fails, preparing for combat and ultimately achieving victory. I'm pleased that the highest commander of the front line in the Taiwan Strait has expressed such a clear stance on this matter. I have long argued that the United States must change its previously ambiguous strategy on the Taiwan issue and clearly demonstrate the severe consequences once the war begins in order to more effectively contain the CCP's ambitions. So, I guess Xi Jinping's statement of stormiest and most turbulent waves probably includes the stance of the US military as well. Furthermore, In recent international conferences, including the G7 summit, China has been excluded. Some commentators say that globalization without China has just begun. This is also what Xi Jinping refers to as a complex and a severe situation. Within China, not only is the economy in dire straits, but various malignant social incidents continue to occur, indicating the accumulation of public grievances that may soon explode and sink the already fragmented CCP ship. It is the unprecedentedly severe and deteriorating international and domestic situation that invoke Xi Jinping's sentiments and a fear of alarming waves and extreme thinking. The second extraordinary aspect of this National Security Commission meeting was a less attention-grabbing personnel appointment. Cai Qi, who is known as Xi Jinping's steward and a member of the Politburo Standing Committee and a secretary of the CCP's Central Secretariat, was given a new position, vice chairman of the Central National Security Mission. The National Security Mission of the CCP was established after Xi Jinping came to power in 2014. According to the previous practice, Xi Jinping serves as the chairman, with the premier and the chairman of the National People's Congress as vice chairman, making a total of 2 vice chairmen. However, in a report issued by Xinhua News Agency this time, people noticed that an additional vice chairman has been added to this commission, and that is Cai Qi. This departure from convention indicates that there are subtle changes occurring in the power structure of the CCP's top leadership. In theory, Cai Qi ranks 5th among the CCP Politburo Standing Committee members, but he has now surpassed Wang Huning, who is ranked 4th and in charge of United Front work. This shows that the importance Cai Qi holds in Xi Jinping's mind and the level of trust he has earned has exceeded that of Wang Huning. Wang Huning is responsible for the United Front work. Cai Qi is in charge of ideology and propaganda. He also currently serves as the director of the CCP's Central Secretariat, responsible for the security and safeguarding of the CCP's top leadership. Under the Central Secretariat, there is an office of the National Security Commission, which is responsible for implementing the directives of the Central National Security Commission. As a result, Cai Qi not only serves as the vice chairman of the National Security Commission, responsible for formulating national security policies, but he also heads the office of the National Security Commission, responsible for implementing those policies. Therefore, he has in fact become the de facto second in command of the CCP, overseeing important tasks such as ideology, party affairs, and national security. He not only controls the Central Guard Bureau, but also has the ability to mobilize resources from the Political and Legal Committee, National Security, Military, Armed Police, and even the diplomatic system. One of the most memorable things about Cai Qi is his eviction of hundreds of thousands of so-called low-end population from Beijing on a cold winter night in 2017, leaving them to freeze. Moreover, he once said, we must use real swords and real guns to handle grassroots people. We must see blood on our sword shivers, etc. Such statements send shivers down people's spine. Now, Having taken such a role as the vice chairman of the National Security Commission, it can be anticipated that the CCP may adopt even more hard-line policies in matters related to national security, both internally and externally. Some people say that if Xi Jinping is likened to Stalin, then Cai Qi is his Beria, the notorious chief of the former Soviet secret police. Therefore, the high-pressure rule and purification within the CCP will continue in the future, even without the need for the pretext of anti-corruption. The charge of endangering national security can be applied to anyone the party wants to suppress. Now let's talk about 4 incidents highly relevant to the CCP's sense of insecurity. The first incident occurred on May 26 at the Zangtun Township Police Station in Dacheng County, Hebei Province. There was an explosion at the police station. And these are screenshots from the video at the time. The explosion scene was quite frightening. According to the official announcement afterwards, the explosion resulted in the deaths of 4 police officers, 7 injuries, and 2 missing persons. The cause of the accident was stated as, quote, the explosion was triggered when the police were taking samples for identification of confiscated fireworks and firecrackers, unquote. This statement immediately raised doubts among netizens. Do fireworks and firecrackers still need to be identified? Do ordinary police officers have the qualifications to connect and identify samples? Do ordinary police stations have the necessary conditions and equipment for sampling? What kind of explosive power could make 2 people disappear? The so-called disappearance might be due to being blown to pieces. Otherwise, how could they be missing? Sure enough, on May 29th, a netizen revealed the inside story, stating that this was not an accidental incident, but rather a local firecracker seller who had been fined by the police for no reason repeatedly. In the end, he got fed up, bought an explosive package, attached it to firecrackers, and went to the police station. He ignited it as soon as he entered, killing more than 10 people, including the station chief. Another netizen claimed that 11 people were blown to pieces. The so-called firework explosion was a lie. Regardless of whether 4, 6, or more than 10 people died in this incident, it was an extremely unfortunate event. However, what frightened the authorities was that under the official reports about this incident, the majority of comments did not support the official viewpoint. Many people left comments urging the police to reflect on why such a thing could happen. Those comments, receiving over 1,000 approvals, only had a few people opposing them, indicating the overwhelming view of the netizens that the police should be the first to reflect. Many people even expressed sympathy, support, or applause for the person who brought the explosive package to blow up the police station. This indicates that the CCP's suppression of the people for many years has now triggered violent resistance from the public. If more people choose violent resistance, the CCP's police will be overwhelmed. So this was on May 27th. The CCP attempted to forcefully demolish a mosque in the Hui Muslim settlement area of
哦，你是
Tonghai
能够对
County
好的
in
行啊，行
Yunnan
啊，
province, and this sparked intense
什
resistance
么政府
from Muslim
什么东
residents.
厂大就
The
能够对
police
好
and
的
the
行啊，
people confronted each other for several days.
我
It
清真
was
寺都不
said
对，
that the CCP mobilized at least 5,000 armed
几
police
千
and
个人，
implemented an internet
那
shutdown
真有
near
好
the
的行。
mosque. However, local residents also launched a fierce resistance, and even after repelling the armed police, they destroyed the scaffolding used for forced demolition. It was reported that tens of thousands of people participated in the resistance. Many people left comments online stating that this was the Eastern Muslims showing their courage to defend their traditions and beliefs. The Eastern Muslims are not to be trifled with, etc. On May 26th, a woman in Xilin County, Guangxi Province, posted a photo of traffic police checking electric bikes on her WeChat Moments and added the caption, "It's better to stay home without going out. There are too many bandits." On the same afternoon, she was accused of insulting the traffic police and disturbing public order and got arrested. On May 29th, the police released a video of the woman's arrest. They didn't expect that underneath this video there were over 110,000 comments supporting the woman and mocking the police as bandits. One internet user said she was arrested for just a complaint, truly bandit-like. Another person said calling them bandits is actually praising them. They are worse than bandits. Some people sarcastically claimed that the woman had committed the crime of leaking a state secret. From this incident, on the one hand, it can be seen to what extent the CCP currently controls speech. The woman's post only said there are too many bandits. She didn't even specify who the bandits were, yet she was detained. On the other hand, the overwhelming support for over 110,000 netizens indicates the public sentiment, which can only make the CCP more fearful. There's another ridiculous thing. I don't know who remembers Peng Lifa, also known as Peng Zaizhou, who was called the Sitong Bridge warrior. I have done a program about his story before. In October last year, before the 20th National Congress of the CCP, he put up several banners protesting Xi Jinping's dictatorial rule on the Sitong Bridge in Beijing. He even used a loudspeaker to broadcast radical slogans like boycott classes, go on strike, remove the dictatorial traitor Xi Jinping. His long protest lasted less than half an hour before he was arrested, and we know nothing about what happened to him after that. Recently, local residents in Beijing discovered that the road sign with the words Sitong Bridge on the bridge had been removed. Let's compare the photos. On the left is a photo from October 13th last year, right after the protest happened. You can see the blue background with white letters on the road sign indicating the name of the bridge written in both in Chinese and English. On the right is the recent photo captured from a video. You can see that in the same location above the traffic lights where the road sign used to hang, there is nothing now. Not only that, but two major online map service providers in China have also prohibited search results for Sitong Bridge. When you search for Sitong Bridge on Baidu Maps, the result shows no relevant location found. This means that although the CCP swiftly arrested Pen Lifan, they are so fearful of the impact of his protest that they want to erase even the place where he protested from the maps. In 1989, the Tiananmen Square protests occurred on a massive scale, and in 2 days, it will be the 34th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre. Although the CCP killed thousands of people at that time, they haven't reached the point of erasing the name Tiananmen Square from maps. But this time, Pen Lifan's protest was attended by only one person and lasted less than half an hour. However, the CCP's fear seems greater than their fear of the Tiananmen Square protests, to the extent that they want to completely eradicate the 3 words 四通桥 or 四通 bridge in English. Using Xi Jinping's expression of extreme scenario thinking, this can be seen as an extreme manifestation of the CCP's fear of the possibility of the people rising up against it. There's a Chinese idiom called 物极必反, which means that when something or a trend reaches its peak or limit, it will inevitably reverse its direction and develop or operate in the opposite way. Therefore, when the neuroticism of the CCP reaches such an extreme, it is probably a manifestation that its ultimate demise is approaching. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please double check if you are still subscribed to my channel, as YouTube keeps taking off my subscribers. And if you like my content, please spread my channel and videos or go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com. That's jenniferzengblog.com. Sign up for a membership or make a donation to support my effort. Thank you. Have a nice weekend and see you next